Hi, I'm Marcia Sandoval, owner-broker of MKS Realty Group. Today, I'm standing here in front of a bank because I want to talk to you about money. I think it's really important that first-time home buyers or any buyer understand where the money's coming from, who it's going to. We work hard for our money and we want to invest and spend our money wisely. So I want you as a first-time home buyer to understand who pays the commission. So the short answer is not you, at least not directly. As a buyer, you rarely have to come out of pocket to pay any money up front to your agent who represents you. For instance, I don't charge a retainer fee. I don't collect any money from my buyer clients. I wait and get paid once I've helped them find their perfect house, and I help them get a loan in order to pay for it. We're teammates in that way. When an agent works with a seller in order to help them sell their home, they negotiate a percentage of the sales price, and that number's not fixed at all, of what they'll get paid when the deal closes. Unless that agent, called the listing agent, representing the seller, has a buyer in their own back pocket, then they're going to want to share that listing in the multiple listing service for all the agents to see, for those agents who do have buyers that they're representing to bring and hopefully sell that house. When they share that listing, they also agree to share a portion of the total commission that they're getting paid by the seller. And again, I'm just making up these numbers because there's no set number. But let's say that agent is getting paid 10% by the listing agent. They may agree to share half of that or 5% with any agent who brings a buyer. So in that way, you are not paying my commission as your agent directly. I'm getting paid from the listing agent by the seller. Now, I also represent sellers, and at several of my last open houses, I've engaged potential buyer clients in conversation, and they've told me, well, I don't want representation to buy a home. I want to work on my own because then I'm going to save X amount of commission right off the bat in that sales price. That's not really how it works. Even though a buyer may not be represented, therefore there's no buyer's agent to be paid, that doesn't mean the seller will agree to sell their house for any less, and it certainly doesn't mean that the listing agent will be paid any less. Remember, they've pre-negotiated the amount they're going to receive as a percentage of the final sales price. Whether or not the buyer is represented or unrepresented may not have anything to do with how much commission the seller ultimately pays. So I want you as a first-time home buyer to understand how important it is that you have representation. And even though a buyer has representation and that buyer's agent will receive a portion of the commission, the buyer may still come out ahead in saving money because their agent has the experience and the knowledge to better negotiate on the buyer's behalf, potentially to still save the buyer money over what they would have done on their own, and maybe even to help them save in closing costs by either working them into the deal or by asking the seller to pay a portion. If you were ever to have to go to court, you probably wouldn't want to represent yourself, but you would want to invest in a licensed, experienced attorney to better negotiate on your behalf. And it's the same in buying a home. I hope this information has been helpful. If so, please like this video or comment below. Reach out if you have any questions, and I promise you I'll respond. Again, I'm Marcia Sandoval, owner-broker of MKS Realty Group. Thanks so much for listening.